Well, what is our project today? I am going to show you how to fix squeaky hinges on your doors. We're going to use this stuff right here. Went down to the hardware store and I wasn't quite sure what kind of grease I was going to get, and I saw this. It's a multi-purpose white lithium grease. I thought, wow, that should do me. And I've just got a little piece of cardboard here. And I've got it on top of a box, and I'm going to use that for my little station. And what I'm going to have to do is I've got to get up there and I've got to take these hinge pins off. So now that I've got those two, I'm going to just do the bottom one next. And I'll do the top one last. And if you've noticed, I've kept the door closed all the way. Okay, now, most of the time that's going to be okay. I'm going to leave it closed and see for the top if it's going to be okay. But I may end up having to open the door a little bit and then pop it, because the hinge is probably going to sag a little bit, and it might be kind of hard for me to get it back together by keeping the door closed. So I may have to open the door so I can then grab the edge of the door and move it over to line up the top hinge when I get ready for it. See, on this one, I'm just going to use the side of my hammer again because I don't have much room. Plus, I don't want to get too close to the door or the trim. Just want that up high enough. I don't have to go all the way up on my nail set. Okay, and what I could have done is, and since I have my nail set, I'm gonna go ahead and just pop the top with my nail set. See, I could go around and use my nail set the first thing and pop all of the ones. So I could have popped it up further, but I don't want to get this up so far and have it dig in or then have to pull it down. And just by hitting that, I saw all kinds of stuff, you know, dust coming down out of here. Another reason why I'm greasing these, because I don't want to get it all over my white doors. And I don't think you do either. Even on stained grade doors, you've got the same issue. You know. Plus, this will make your doors open and close easier, especially if you have a squeak. Even if you don't have a squeak, your doors should ride a little easier. Now, could I take the top one off? Yeah, probably. I could, but I'm just going to leave it until I do this one. I'm just going to do one at a time. Okay. You know, if you've got a 6'8" door with 3 hinges, let's say, I would not suggest taking the top and bottom one off and leaving the middle one. Just do one at a time. Or, yeah, you try it any way you want. Now, if yours is all greasy, you can take a paper towel, wipe that off. These look pretty good, though. Okay. So, I'm not going to wipe them off. Okay. I think I need a little bit more up next to the top, so I just dragged some down. That's why at first I was thinking, how am I gonna do this? And then I thought, oh, I know, I'll just lift this something up like that and have a piece of cardboard and do it right off of that. I mean, how else are you gonna do it? I'm not sure how else you would do that if you didn't have a nice little cardboard stand, let's say. Okay, so now I'm just gonna do this bottom one. I'm going to do it the same way. Get my cutter out, hang on to the hinge pin. towel. I just don't want to get this stuff all over. And I didn't know they even had white grease, but I thought it was going to be, you know, some other type of yellowish grease or something. See, now I got it on my hand, but I can wipe that off on the cardboard. Okay. Now, I got to get up there to do this top one. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave the door. I think I'm gonna leave the door closed just to see what happens. I've always wanted to put grease on hinge pins, but I never was quite sure how I was going to do it. Until I came up with this idea. See, just with that, and this is a hollow core door, the door has moved over so far to where there's no way I can put the new pin in until I can grab it with my hand and pull it over. I'll show you how we're going to do that here in a second. Let's just get this next one greased up. Hope I'm not getting you dizzy. Getting a little low on grease here. Let's just put a little bit more on here. And I know anyone who's watching, you can do this on your doors. Okay? It's not really hard. You just, maybe you never knew how to get the hinge pins out before. You know? I used to do it with a little nail, and then with the screwdriver, standard screwdriver, and hit it up with the screwdriver. You know, before I came up with this new technique that I've used for quite a few years now. You see, sometimes you can't hit the pin up with the nail set because it might have something at the bottom, you know, that's holding it. Then you have to use a little finish nail, and it gets a little tricky. Okay. So now I can just set that there because the 3 knuckles are on the door jamb. Okay, so I'm going to have to gently open this door. Now I can grab the edge of the door and see if I can't move it over. Wow. I hope I don't have to, you know what? I'm not able to do it. I'm going to have to open this up further. Sometimes it depends. Just by opening the door, you might be able to get it, or not. There. I was able to push it over with my hand just enough, and I slid the hinge pin down just to grab the next hole, the next knuckle. Okay, now I can get up there. I don't have to close the door or anything. I can get up there now. Obviously, if you have 2 people, one person could kind of push on it from the other side, or whatever. I'm just going to take my cutters again, just like before. You feel comfortable, you can hit it with your hammer, just the edge, but if you're not careful, you could scrape your door just barely. All it takes is a little bit and you'll see the mark. I've done it before. It's easy to do. Now I can tap it. Grease on my cutter. I'll have to periodically keep an eye on that and wipe that off. Okay, there. So, all I gotta do. if your door was squeaking, let's say, before you did this, at this point, what I would do is take your door and just open and close it, you know, 7 or 8 times like this. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's just moving around all around on the inside of the knuckles now. Okay. And on some of my white doors, I've already seen little flakes, little bits of the dust going through. So as I go through my doors, I'm going to have to check on that, and I'll get that off with some simple green spray. My main cleaner that I use to clean stuff off, I use simple green on there, and maybe a sponge or something to wipe it all off. Make sure I don't have any drips on the other side of the door before I call it all good. Wipe it all down. And you know, you can do that when you get all done. After you put the grease on your hinges. Okay. There you go. That's all I'm going to do for that particular door. And I've got lots of doors to do in the whole house. I'm going to do even closet doors. I'm going to do closet doors, bathroom doors, bedroom doors, garage doors going out into the garage. Now those might be a little bit trickier because on some of them, most garage doors, you're going to have a self-closing hinge. See, there's a self-closing hinge there, and there's one down there. These two are regular hinge pins. This one and this one. And if you have 6'8" doors, maybe the middle hinge is going to be your only hinge pin that you can do. Or on some garage doors, maybe they only have a self-closing hinge on the bottom. Or maybe they have it on all 3 hinges, or just the top and the bottom, or just the top. Whatever it is, look in the regular pins you can do. The self-closing ones, you could take some silicone spray and spray in there. Spray in the joints and open the door, and you can spray, you know, right up in there, back and forth, and then make sure you wipe it down from the excess. I used to use WD-40 on all my hinges, but then I started deciding, hey, they have silicone spray now, and I've used the 100% silicone spray. That's better than actual WD-40. And if you really like WD-40, they also carry it now, WD-40, with the silicone spray from WD-40. So look for that at the hardware store.